to another edition of the KellumMD.com video podcast. Gabe Farias with Dr. Daniel H. Kellum Jr. from Kellum Family Medicine and all of its wonderful, fantastic subsidiaries, including but not limited to a new clinic that is coming to town, literally. Braun and 1604. Dr. Kellum, really excited about that.
Me too, Gabe. It's actually doing it's doing really well. So we're hopefully opening June is our plan, but as construction goes, it could be a little bit longer, but we're excited to bring healthcare to that part of the city. And
this isn't a construction podcast, but you and I have been a part of Kellum Real Estate. You from the very beginning, me not too far after it started. Construction's hard.
Construction is
Good
hard.
Lord.
Medicine is definitely easy.
It is, right?
For sure, yeah.
But it's good because so many good things can happen when you get involved in the construction side, which we're seeing the fruit of, which is adding more medical services for people in South Texas. That Braun and 1604 location is going to be tremendous for that area because of its growth. There just aren't enough doctors out there. But it's your clinic. It's a women's health clinic as well, an OBGYN clinic with your brother. That's going to be a cool place.
Yeah, it is actually. And so it's kind of, interestingly enough, it's sort of a tweener between Westover Hills and the medical center area. Bandera Road-ish. And so there's not really a lot in that one small area, but there's an LA Fitness going next to us, and with my brother doing OB-GYN. It really is a little center for good preventative care, women's health care, as well as overall, exercise, diet, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And so, we're hoping to bring just a little small island of, good health care to the area. Outside of Braun and 1604.
Would you say that I am a tweener when it comes to my hair? Because I'm like in between having a full set of thick, luscious locks and...
No.
Zach, yes? Am I in the tweener stage?
I mean...
I would say you're
okay, you're fired.
No, as we've talked about, it sprouts.
It sprouts. There's seedlings. You got seedlings. Right. You got really cool seedlings.
There's definitely
sprouts. No. There you go. Rogaine does not work, people. I'm joking. To the Rogaine manufacturers. Minoxidil is a great product. So, Dr. Kellum, we're not talking about hair growth, obviously. We've covered that. Been there, done that. Thanks for the advice, by the way.
Shave it? That was
that was your advice. Right. Just get rid of it. Just go full. There's no full Telly Savalas.
This is medicine, not magic.
How many people do you think got the Telly Savalas reference? Well, I know you did. That's the style. You went up and say, give me the...
Not very many.
Give me the Yul Brenner.
Ooh,
I'm really going obscure. No, Dr. Kellum, the weather here, it's rodeo time in San Antonio. That's always seems to be when it's hot. First few days of rodeo was hot. Yeah. Then it got cold. And it's supposed to get hot. Then it's supposed to get really cold. And me, with somebody who's dealt with arthritis issues in my knees and in my shoulders, is there really a correlation between when the weather changes and me having knee pain and shoulder pain?
Yeah, there definitely is. And so what we see with weather changes is changes in barometric pressure. And when barometric pressure goes down, we can see some inflammation and irritation produced. And so people can truly predict the weather with a knee or an elbow or a hand, that sort of stuff. And it's not as uncommon as you think.
Okay. And are there any, because I take... Before I go to bed, I take some glucosamine, and it helps a little bit. Are there other supplements that I don't know about that I can take to help with again, knee, shoulder, ankle pain?
Curcumin is a good thing. Turmeric is a good thing. Fish oil is a good thing. Some of these are just some natural supplements that help with the inflammation. The glucosamine chondroitin also can be very helpful with that as well. And those can help reduce the inflammation. Unfortunately, it doesn't necessarily completely change it with the change in barometric pressure, but it can do stuff to make you feel a little bit better for sure. The other thing we see with that, Gabe, is really what people should do is try to keep their joints warm. So in days where we're seeing weather changes, if you can wrap it, heating pads, those kinds of things, that heat will help reduce some of that inflammation as well, or at least keep your joints warmed up so that they're not so stiff and achy when you're moving.
So it's like when Shaq is talking about, you want your wheels to not be broke, try Icy Hot. Icy Hot helps your wheels not be broke. So is Icy Hot a good thing to put on your... And was that a good Shaq impersonation?
That was not bad.
It wasn't bad, was it?
But yes, the Icy Hot reference, as lame as it was, is really not a bad thing to do in the sense that cold and then heat really does make a difference with that. And so I think uniquely those kinds of things do make a difference. But speaking to the original question, weather changes do make a difference.
So when my knees are hurting, I find that putting something cold on it really helps tremendously.
It can. So when you get that acute inflammation, ice tends to help reduce some of that. As that acute inflammation goes down, heat tends to make a difference with that as well. So, you often ask people to, alternate between ice and heat to really sort of make a difference with that. But ice is definitely your friend in cases like that.
So you talked about fish oil. You talked about, is it turmeric or turmeric?
Either
or.
Tomato.
But those kind of supplements, in addition to joint pain, in addition to they've got really, I know we've talked about supplements in the past, but fish oil helps with heart. Those others kind of help with just your overall health. I mean, it's good to take supplements.
I think so too. I mean, certainly our foods are not what they need to be, and there's a lot of discussion in the media about that these days. And I think there's some truth to it to a degree, but I think our foods are not as nutritious as they need to be. And so taking some supplements, I think, are very helpful. Certainly, the thing that everyone should do is really eat a cleaner diet.
Yeah.
If you're eating less processed foods, if you're eating less less fatty foods, carbs, sugars, those kinds of things, it really does make a bigger difference. Interestingly enough, because what it does is it creates a cleaner small bowel. And when small bowel health is better, overall inflammation is better. And one would be able to manage the changes in pressure a little bit more, because I don't think you'd be so acutely inflamed. And so really it all goes back to diet.
Yeah.
And if we can work on that, it'd make a difference.
So I'm going to be infringing on Mr. Dixon's Mythbusters. I'm going to ask a Mythbuster myself right now, because I've always been told if you take foods that have antioxidants in them, like cherries, kind of natural stuff that you can take in, does that help? I mean, the antioxidants, does that help you with flushing out, bad stuff in your body that can help you have less inflammation?
Yeah, so think about it as we eat something that creates a little inflammation, and then we take something else. And a lot of these antioxidants are fruit-based products: pomegranate, grapes, cherries, those types of things.
Yeah.
So think about it in the older days. They would eat something, some inflammation would be created. Their desserts were some of the fruits and things that they could pick up. They would take that, and that would tend to reduce the inflammation. And so I think really it's a good idea to take those things on a regular basis, because however we can create the reduction in inflammation naturally is what we want to do. And again, if people really focused on their diet, more so than just passively to lose weight, but really focused to help really reduce inflammation and provide better outcomes in their health, they would really go a long way with that. Foods could be better, and hopefully one day they will. But for now, choices really have to be better.
So, as you know, I've been known to ask stupid questions every once in a while, probably more often than not. It is the same as eating, I don't know, baked cod or baked Alaskan or some sort of fish. Can that be okay and you're not taking fish oil, or is that not the same thing?
That's a really good question. And I think...
What?
Right. I think the supplements are important, because really when you talk about heart health, and this gets into the weeds a little bit, but when you're taking fish oil, and really, there's two parts of it. There's an EPA and a DHA. And so you want more of the omega-3, not the omega-6. And so fish can probably give us a combination of the two. But purified fish oil, prescriptive in one particular sense, really shows cardiovascular benefit.
Yeah.
When you look at fishes like that and just over-the-counter fish oils where there's a combination of the two, that's really brain health does a little bit better with that. And so, depending on the purpose for why you're taking it, and always consult with your physician about this, because I think these are really important things to do. I think certain fish oils, but eating a higher fish diet, I think would be very helpful.
So Fred's Fish Fry the rest of the year for me, man. Yeah. Long John Silver's. Put a Long John Silver's. Let's go to the Little Red John, or what's the name of the Little Red, not the Little Red Barn, that's a steakhouse. The Little Red Lobster. Let's go there, man. Come on.
Are they still open?
I don't think so. At least the one on the south side is not open. I think there's maybe a couple more Lobster de Rojos, I think, that are still open.
Is Long John Silver's fish?
I'm pretty sure it's got a good chunk of 30-40% fish product in it. It's minced. That's for sure.
Is it?
Actually, no. I'm not going to bag on Long John Silver's. LJS has got some stuff, dude.
Really?
Oh God, yes.
Like what?
Fish.
Ish.
There you go. All right, that's going to wrap up this edition. And again, if you have knee pain, if you have shoulder pain, go in and see your doctor. We'd love for you to come to Kellum Family Medicine. Right. And whether you're in Bergheim, Texas, or in Schertz, soon to be Braun in 1604 this summer, see your doctor. I mean, there's no, I have severe knee pain. You get a steroid shot, and it really helps for a while. And there are other things you can do for knee pain.
True.
Like PRP.
But yeah, for sure, PRP does really help. But I would say to that is go in and make sure. So often we make the assumptions that our pain is related to weather changes or whatever. But I would go in at least once, get some confirmation, because you want to make sure that it's not some broader issue that's causing that problems. And once you get that affirmation, then I think you could live with it a little more comfortably, or at least deal with it in the times that it flares. But I think that all of these things, at least once, should go to your doctor. And a great time to do that is when you get your yearly physical. Yeah. Just to make sure you let them know about all of those things. And that way it could be moved forward in a way that we really understand, you really understand where your health is at.
Dr. Kellum, it's NBA All-Star time, second half of the year. We always talk a little bit of sports. The Spurs love the De'Aaron Fox move. You got season tickets. I like the direction of the organization.
They're kind of exciting, Gabe. I really think they're good. When you look at it,
I think Steph Castle is just going to be off the charts. I was just going to
say, when you think about our, the Tony Parkers, Manus, and Tim years, I mean, we really are starting to replicate that with a really great point guard. We got Stephen Castle. He's a good slasher to the basket kind of guy.
Great slasher. He's going to be in the dunk contest. We haven't had a guy in the dunk contest since, I don't know, Greg Cadillac Anderson, I think was the last spur to participate. I'm not joking. I think it was Cadillac Anderson was the last participant in that. We've never had an athletic guy like that. Cadillac Anderson. I don't.
U of H.
Okay, I really
Guy Lewis.
Remember that guy with the handkerchief and Phi Slamma Jamma. Remember? I don't know that he was on those teams, but those are the Olajuwon really good basketball teams back in the day. We can trail off. Okay. We can. Anyways, Dr. Kellum, thank you so very much for taking the time. And folks, remember, visit kellummd.com to set up an appointment, to visit any of the clinics in the Kellum Family Medicine family of practices. For Dr. Daniel H. Kellum Jr., I'm Gabe Farias. Folks, stay healthy.